Hey guys, so I just wanted to show you guys exactly what I use to study for the ATI TEAS test. Now, as I said in my previous video, I did take the test 3 times, and that is because the first time I took the test, I wasn't ready. The school that I am attending now, they were starting a session like 30 days, 30 days after I took the first test. Yes, I was going to say prior, but I'm like, no, wrong statement. Yes, so that's how that goes. So I wasn't really ready. What I studied for, it kind of was not on the test. I studied mostly anatomy and physiology. For reading, I did use Carolyn McAllister. Now, she did provide me with some resourceful things, but the TEAS test had already been updated. I don't know if you guys know that, but I see people stating that, oh, it's going to be updated in 2022 or later 2021, which is now, but no. The TEAS test is updated. I have had 3 updated tests. My first test for reading, I had actually the same test I had the first time I had my third time, so I already knew what to expect. Now, the first test that I did for reading, I had mostly the author's purpose, comparing the author's mood and attitude, things of that nature mainly. There was no recipes. I want to say I had like one simple recipe, and then I had one, I didn't even have any maps to map out for reading. And then I had, for math, I had mostly algebra. Minimal fractions, but mostly algebra. That is at X, Y plus Z, all that. And then for science, the first test I had, I don't even remember, but I do remember the last time. So yes, I did have properties of matter. Yes, I had mostly properties of matter, scientific strategies. So study those. Study that for science, because I thought science would be mainly anatomy and physiology, questions on anatomy and physiology, but I had a lot of chemistry and biology. A lot. Let's just say that. And then I had for English, I don't remember the first time, but I do remember the last time. Probably mostly subject verb questions. So majority was subject verb questions, but I do remember from my second test, I had a few subject verbs, and I had more so punctuation and the right spelling, like the right word, I want to say. And then I had a few suffix, prefix questions for that portion as well. So yeah, so study. The second time, I want to say around, I don't even remember. I didn't want to remember those things. I passed. This would matter, but I do want to provide this for you guys. But my second test, I did have for math, I had a lot of geometry, a lot of square roots. I had a lot of geometry, minimal fractions, and I want to say I had a lot of algebra again. And then for reading, honestly, I don't remember. I'm going to be honest, I do not remember. And then for science, I had a lot of scientific, I want to say scientific methods. Let me pull it up here if I'm saying it right. I have a little chart that I was using. For science. Yeah, science, I had minimal system questions. Minimal. And when I say minimal, probably The ones that I did have, I would say, now I really remember. My second TEAS test, my science portion, was a lot of reproductive questions. When I did get the anatomy and physiology questions, they were reproductive. They were, and then in science in my first test as well, there were the endocrine system. A lot of gland questions, a lot of endocrine questions. Second test, I did have a lot of the urinary system questions, and then I had minimal cardio and respiratory questions, very minimal. I did get questions on the positional, directional terms, no neural questions, and then for my last test for science, I did get immune system questions, a few of those. And I want to say, let me see, the integumentary system. Don't recall getting any questions from that, but you still need to study it because they will throw it at you just in case. Everyone test is different. And then I also want to say, I did get a lot of diffusion questions on my first and last science test. Far as the freezing phase, condensation phase, boiling point, you definitely want to study those because my first science test was my last one, and those are the questions that I got. When water freeze, solids, gas, when gas freeze and melt, you want to know those steps. And for the, scientific reasoning, you want to know that scientific steps of scientific methods, and then some scientific reasoning, which is the experiment, the hypothesis, independent variable. Remember that I had questions on that, and dependent variables and control variables. Now moving forward, and I did have one acid and base question. I don't recall getting meiosis or mitosis questions, but you still need to study those as well. Now, I want to show you for my first test, I did use the Metrics book, which is, I'll show you, this book right here. Now, I'm going to be honest, I failed because I did not really study. I kind of, because I went to school before, so, and then the job that I do, I kind of thought the knowledge that I do have, and in the minimal studying that I did do, that I would pass. But I probably, if you use this book, you might pass. But I didn't use this book. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of breezed through a few things, but I did not use this book. Just to be honest. Now, this, I have test anxiety, so right before my test, I went over this, and I probably didn't remember anything. I want to be sure because, again, my test anxiety makes me tend to freeze and freak out rather than remember that I know the answer. And because I took it 2 times already, my third time, I was not afraid. I was not scared. But my second time, I came across something called Smart Addition Academy. I'm not sure if you guys, I'm not sure if you guys can see it. And I'm on my phone, so. Smart Addition Academy, SE. Now, this, I'm going to tell y'all, this is it. It's updated, it's efficient, and it breaks things down. Now, I know a lot of people say use Brendan Kraft for math, which I did do. I did use him, and he did explain everything in the lowest term to be explained. Now, he is a part of their math program. He's a part of their math portion of studying. So I want to say Smart Addition Academy, it broke down each section to the T. I want to say for reading, how I use this for reading, I studied 5 days a week. So Monday through Friday, I studied each section. I would break down sections and study, like, for example, I would go over, I'm thinking about scientific reasoning. I don't know why for reading, but for reading, what I did was, for example, I studied mood and attitude, or mood and tone. I want to say mood and tone. So Monday I would do mood and tone. Tuesday I would do capitalization. Wednesday I would do maps and recipes for reading. Thursday, so etc. That is what I did for reading. And then Friday I would kind of do, well, and I'm not gonna lie, after each category that I would study for that day, that night I would, they have practice questions, and it's like 80 for each category. I want to say 60 to 80 on some have 40, but it's a lot of questions that you can use to practice. So I was, after every section that I did study, I would do the practice questions, and I was like acing them. And for reading, I did get a 73 on my last test. I did get a 70. No, I'm lying. I got a 76 for reading. And my first reading score, I think I got like a 58. But after using this and really studying it for that last test, because I knew this is it. After that, if I don't pass, I'm not getting in. And the deadline for school was December 12th, and my test was 11/19, my son's birthday. And studied for 1 month. And when I say I studied every day, I would study. And after that section, I would do the practice questions. Moving forward for math, so Monday through Friday, I would study, and after each section, I would do the practice test. Saturday, I would spend my day to have actual practice sections for you to do. So I would do like 3 sections on the actual test, because they have 8 practice tests for you. I would do 3 Saturday. Sunday, I would kind of do an overview and then go into each section, practice tests again, and go in and practice a little more on the ones that I kind of wasn't doing too good on for as the score that I wanted. And then Sunday, I will go boom into math, and then move right into that Brennan Craft. I had already been watching him, so it was like a breeze going through that. And then I would do the practice every night on different things, and then Saturday do the practice test, Sunday overview. Now that Sunday as well, I would now do a little practice test on math and reading, so that it would be sticking to me. Monday, going into that third week, going into science. Now science, I did use 7 days to practice science. I did not use 5. And then I want to say, if I did not get something, and then that next day I would take a practice test in the morning. And if I did not do good on that practice test, I will go back over that exact category or subject that I did the previous day if I did not get it, because I wanted to get science. Each category, each section, I needed to have that down pat, because I did not know what to expect. So I wanted to have every category, that's how you say it, every category. I'm sorry, I just got off work, just finished setting up my tablet for class that starts next Monday. But anyway, yeah, so each category I would study, and then if I did not get that category right, I would go back that next day and study. So science, you might want to take more than 5 days. You might want to take, me personally, I don't like science. So I want to say I took 7, maybe even 8 days. And then I had practice science section on Smart Edition Academy. Science section, they have a special bonus science section practice test. So you will not fail. If you fail, that means you did not take that time to really study. And if you don't get it, go back and look at it again. If you don't get it again, take a break. That means your brain is cluttered. Take the break. Take hours off to rest your brain, and try to go back again and see if your mind is able to adapt and concept what you just read or what you just looked at, because they have videos. They have, if you're a visual learner, if you are a audio learner, if you are a person that's good at taking notes, you can pause, take the notes. They have both ways. So for science, there's no way. And then after science, each category, I would go and do the practice test, the practice, mini practice question banks. That's what you call it, question banks. Excuse me. I'll go and do some questions in their practice bank. And then no, I didn't do a practice test. I'm lying. I just did a practice bank after each category that I did for that day. And I did do, for science, I would do probably 2 to 3 categories a day, because there's sections. So I would not just do one. I would do, for anatomy and physiology, it may be for immune, and then it may be 3 sections for that. Then it may be I want to say, let's see, my courses. So I don't know if you guys can see it. You can't, I'm pretty sure. Let me fix my lighting. Turn that light off. Okay, no. So I'm sorry. Oh, there you go. So that's the TEAS, because I did a practice math before I purchased it, and I had like a 77, 79 on that after using Bread and Craft on YouTube. But yes, so each science section, there's like some that has 7 categories that you need to really study. For biology and chemistry, they have like, I want to say 7 categories that you have to go over. So you want to really be breaking them down, like 4 categories a day, 3 categories a day. And then after, doing a practice bank for each category that next morning, if you had time. See, I work from home. And so when I had some downtime, I would study, like go through that question bank and be practicing those questions, because science for me, it was like in and out. But with this, it helped me. And I'm going to be honest, it helped me a lot because I passed. And then for English, it breaks it down, each category. And when I say each category, let me go back into this course. It's actual 34 lesson course. Now for language arts, English language arts, same thing I want to say. Yeah, so for reading, it broke it down in key ideas. It broke it down in key ideas. Oh, 1 minute. Key ideas and whatever else that is. That was 2 topics with 1 test. Oh, and after each section, they do give you a test as well. And then craft and structure for reading, that was 3 topics. So every day, like for key ideas and craft structure, I want to say craft and structure for reading, there was 3, which is tone and mood and transition words, the author's purpose and point of view, evaluating and integrating data, craft and structure practice tests. So I would do these 3 in addition to the tone and mood key idea section. I would do all that probably on a Monday, and then do that practice test after each section, and then do the practice bank. And if I couldn't get to the practice bank to finish it, I would go back the next morning to do it. And then same for science. Now science, there's some with 6 topics, 3 topics. So you really want to spend most of your time on science. For English and language arts, language usage, let's see, 3 topics. So for the first section, I had conventions of standard English, which is spelling, capitalization, and punctuation. And there's a test. So like I would start that on Monday. I would do these 3 sections plus the test. And then I will also add in, because I see speech, parts of speech, that's nouns, pronouns, adjectives, and adverbs. So I would probably do that whole first section, and then moving on to the parts of speech section. There's 5 steps. I would probably cover nouns and pronouns, and then do the practice test for those 2, and then that following morning do a brief review, practice questions in the question bank, and then moving forward Tuesday I would finish this up, which is adjectives and adverbs, conjunctions and propositions, verbs and verb tenses, and then the test. And then after that, I will go to which was the next section, knowledge of language usage, and that is subject and verb agreement, types of sentences, types of clauses, formal and informal language. I would finish that up. So, and then after they have 8 practice tests, which is 4 sections each, which is just like the TEAS test, and it does time you. And then they have a bonus science section and then they have a question bank, which has for reading 8 test sections. Now 8 test sections each test. So I'm going to break it down. For reading, there's 8 test sections. That's main idea, topic, sentence, and supporting details. That's the first section. Summarizing text and usage, text features. That's the second section. Tone, mood, and transition words. Third section. The author's purpose and point of view. Fourth section. Evaluating and integrating data, and etc., which is facts and opinion is the next one. Types of passages and text, engineers, and themes. And then I want to click on main idea just to give a brief description of how many questions. So on this test question, there was 70. You guys aren't going to be able to see it because I'm on my phone and not my laptop, but you see there's 70 questions, 70 big long questions, and you can practice, and then if you get it wrong, they will break it down to you. So each section will have, some will have 70 questions, some will have 80 questions, some will have 60 questions, but you need to really take your time to practice. And then to wrap it up, once I was done with all 4 sections, I would just do practice tests. In the sections that I felt was my weakest and that I was getting low scores on, I would go back and really take my time that following morning to study that, and then by that night redo a whole nother practice test. So I spent my last week I would spend doing practice tests. And if you have just a month like I did, break it down, like really break it down and do 5 days. And if you're like me, by third time, once I reviewed it, I kind of like, oh, that's where I went wrong at when I was trying to figure out where did I go wrong on the topic sentence, or where did I go wrong on this, because I wasn't really taking the time to look at these videos and read and write down and really study and listen to what they are telling you, because there are some key points in this Smart Edition test prep that you can use. So I think I used a coupon. If you go onto Facebook, the ATI TEAS practice group, study group, and then you hit their search button in their group, you will get a coupon. You will find a Smart Edition coupon. I think I want to say 50 off I had, or 40 off. And this whole program, I think, was probably, was it $35 or $40? I think it was $40. And